everybody, as you can see, I'm outside. My beautiful sunflower here sprouted yesterday. I'm going to be sharing a tutorial that I did on how I made a piece with sawdust and finished it. This was a birthday gift for my sister Cheryl, so I had to wait until she received her birthday gift. I'm not sure if she liked it. She just said, "I received your birthday package, thank you." So if you received a homemade gift, let that person know that you appreciate it. We put a lot of time into our pieces. It's a beautiful piece. I loved it. I hope she loved it. And I do keep my tutorials very quick and to the point. I don't like holding people up. If you have any tips on how you finish your piece, leave it in the comments below. This is a community where we share. There is no right or wrong way to do a piece. There's a lot of tips I included, and I hope it's helpful to you, and I hope everybody is enjoying their summer. So let's get to it. Hi everybody, it's Cindy. Today I'm going to be showing you how to finish a piece with sawdust. I stitched this my Sawdust bed with needle and thread. This pattern is by Brenda Gervais, Keeper of the Pins, and this is a gift for someone. So what I'm going to do is I squared them up in both pieces. This is the back, this is the front. And you're going to iron on some fusible shear weight Pellon, and I'm going to show you that up close so you can see exactly what it is that I used. It's Pellon and it says 906F, fusible shear weight. This is interfacing, and I actually have a bolt of it, so I don't have to worry about running out. But that's what I use. They definitely have other interfacing you could use, different weights. I just use the shear weight for protection. So I just ironed those on, and I actually did an inch around the piece. You could do whatever you want. You could do a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. It's whatever you feel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch 1/4 of an inch all the way around the piece, and I'm going to leave the bottom open where we're going to stuff it with the sawdust. Now when you're sewing your piece, you want to make sure you're putting both of the good sides together, and then you're just going to sew 1/4 of an inch around the piece. Now, rather than have you hear that noise of just sewing the whole piece all around, I'm going to stop it here and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so I finished sewing all of the sides, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be trimming up all of the corners. On the corner, let's see if I could get this in close. You do want to cut right there, and then do a cut there, and I'm going to do all of the sides, and that way when you turn it inside out you'll have a good edge on all of the corners. Now, as you can see, I did all of the edges. I cut them and went in a little bit, and that way when you turn it inside it'll be good. Now I want to show you some tools that you could use when you do turn it inside out and you want to stuff the corners. You could use a bone fold. I bought a Hobby Lobby. You might have a knitting needle. That tip is good to stuff things in, or even a paintbrush. You use the corner of that. You could use a chopstick. There's many different things you could use. See what you have around your house. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be turning this inside out. And I'm just going to use my bone fold, and I'll try and do the corners as I go around. Push that out. You can see that corner is looking pretty good there. So I'm going to move on to the next corner and just do them all the same way. And as you can see, I did all the corners. I turned it inside out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring it to the iron and I'm going to press it so that these all meet up together perfectly. And that way it'll stay in place. And then we'll start the stuffing. I'm just lining that up, and then I'm just going to iron it, flatten it out, give it some good edge there. Okay, so I pressed it on the bottom, and what we're going to do is we're going to start stuffing it with the sawdust. Now what I'm doing is I'm using a funnel to put the sawdust in there and stuff it with. I think the funnel is the easiest way to go. And I'm just going to start scooping it into the funnel. And then you just lift it up and you bang it and shake it. And it goes into, you see it does make noise there. So I'm just going to stuff the whole thing. Now I got my sawdust, I went to Lowe's. And I went over to the cutting department and I asked the gentleman, I'm like, do you have any sawdust? And he never heard of anybody asking for sawdust before. And I'm like, I just need a bag of sawdust. And he was like, well, okay, let me go get you a bag. And he did. He filled me a whole bag of sawdust. It didn't cost me anything. But I did spend a ton of money today in Lowe's, so I figured that was just the bonus. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to be stuffing more and more, and then I'll show you when I get to the end. Okay, everyone, I stuffed it pretty good. Sawdust is super easy to work with. I stuffed it all the way to the top, and I was using my bone to push it into the corners. Now my funnel is on here with a bunch of others. It's metal. That's why it makes so much noise. I wasn't going to have you listen to that the whole time. But a funnel is the easy way to go. You could use a spoon. You could use whatever you want. Use what you have in your house. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this closed with clear. I'll show it to you. I'm going to show you the clear thread I have. Okay, what I use, it's called Coats Transparent, and I don't even think you could see it. It's transparent thread. It does have a little sheen, but you just stitch it closed, and I'll bring you back once I have that stitch closed, and I'll show it to you. Okay, I'm back. I sewed the bottom. As you can see, you can't even see it. You just cannot even see where it's been finished. There it is. There's the pillow. I love the way it feels with the sawdust. I'm probably going to add some jute around the end. With my tutorials, I like to just get to the point. I don't want you watching me stuff something for 20 minutes or watching me sew for 20 minutes. I hope that was helpful for somebody with the sawdust. And until we meet again, everyone, happy stitching.
Radio up and the blinds pulled down. You love it when nobody's around. I wanna call out round town, but you bite my lip, don't make a sound. I'll be damned if I'm leaving without you. So give me a minute to catch my breath. Take what's yours, I'll take what's left. I'm used to coming up second best. Always fail to pass the test. I'll be damned if I'm leaving without